our NRC-sponsored one-day national seminar on understanding Northeast India issues and challenges, organized by the Northeast Student Society of Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College. For the sake of maintaining decorum and ensuring meaningful participation, I request everyone present in the audience to put their cell phones on silent mode. Please put your cell phones on silent mode and please restrict your movement during the proceedings. I am Dr. Kalyani Rajan, Assistant Professor of English and member of the organizing team of the conference. And it is my honor and privilege to lead all of you through the day's proceedings. On the subject of the Northeast, I would like to draw your attention to Dr. Estherine Kire, a veteran writer born in Kohima, Nagaland, who studied at Northeastern Hill University in Shillong and received her PhD in English literature from Savitribai Phule, Pune University. Dr. Estherine Kire was recently awarded the Sahitya Academy Award for 2024 for her English novel, Spirit Nights, published by Simon & Schuster. Dr. Estherine Kire writes, and I quote, "Every man is a story. Every nation is bristling with galaxy of stories. I believe that every story has its place in history." With these words, we embark upon this day-long journey to explore the various stories, issues, and challenges of the Northeast India. We are joined today by several experts specializing in unraveling the various dimensions of the Northeast in the Indian context. As listed in the schedule for the day, we were to be joined by Professor JAGDISH MUKHI, former governor of Assam, and former faculty member of Shahid Bhagat Singh Morning College as the chief guest. Unfortunately, Professor MUKHI is unable to join us today due to some personal emergencies, though he sends his very best for the success of this one-day national seminar. We will be joined shortly by Sri Alok Srivastav, IAS retired and former Chief Secretary of the Government of Assam, Sikkim, as our eminent guest of honor. And now we are also joined by Professor Mahandra P. Lama, former Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Sikkim, as a distinguished keynote speaker. We also have with us Sri Sabyasachi Datta, Executive Director and founder of Confluence. We request the dignitaries joined by Professor Arun Kumar Atri, the illustrious principal of the college, Professor S.K. Jain, conference convener, Mr. Kshetrimayam Krishnadas, and all senior faculty members of the college to proceed towards lighting the auspicious lamp, invoking divine blessings upon today's proceedings. I also request the dignitaries to offer floral tributes to Goddess Saraswati and Shahid-e-Azam Bhagat Singh. Please join us. Students, please assist with lighting of the candle. Ya kundendu tushar har dhavala, ya shubhra vastravrata, ya veena varavat danda manditakara, ya shweta padmasana, ya brahmachita shankara prabhritibir, devai sada vandita, samam patu saraswati bhagavati, nishesha jadhyapaha. Shuklam Brahma Vicharasara Paramam Adyam Jagadyapini Veena Pustaka Dharinim Abhardam Jadhyan Dakara Pabham Haste Swatika Malikam Vidadhatim Padmasane Sthan Sansthitam Vandetam Parameshwarim Bhagavatim Buddhi Pradam Sharadam. With these words, we invoke the divine blessings of Goddess Saraswati upon today's proceedings. Please give a huge round of applause to mark this moment of invoking the blessings of the divine. Offering floral tributes to Shahid-e-Azam Bhagat Singh, on whom our college is named, is a time-honored tradition of Shahid Bhagat Singh College. And in the proceedings further, I will share with you the traditions which make Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College even more unique in the perspective of the University of Delhi. Ma'am, you can leave it at the bottom also. That's perfectly all. Yeah, just leave it. Thank you. So you can leave it there. Thank you so much. I request everyone to please stand for the University Kulgeet.
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम
देश की स्वाधीनता हित भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन
निष्ठा धृति सत्यम के मंगल दिव्य भावों का समागम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित्य छात्र और छात्राएं दीक्षित
सद्चरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प संयम
नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
Thank you so much. Please take your seats, and I request our dignitaries to please join us on the stage. Professor S.K. Jain, Professor Arun Kumar Attri, Sri Sabyasachi Datta, Professor Mahandra P. Lama, and Dr. Kshetrimayam Krishnadas. Please join us on the stage. Now we proceed towards felicitation of the guests. I request Principal Sir, Professor Arun Kumar Attri, to present the bust of Shahid Bhagat Singh to Professor Mahandra P. Lama, the keynote speaker of the day. I request Principal Sir to also present the ceremonial shawl to Professor Mahandra P. Lama. Please put your hands together to mark this moment of felicitation. I request Professor S.K. Jain, convener of the seminar, to present the ceremonial shawl to Sri Sabyasachi Datta. Sri Sabyasachi Datta is the Executive Director and founder of Asian Confluence, and he's also chairing the first technical session. Please give him a huge round of applause. I request Dr. Laishram Mirana Devi of the organizing committee to present the ceremonial shawl as a mark of respect and honor to Professor Arun Kumar Attri, Principal of Shahid Bhagat Singh Day and Evening College. Ceremonial shawl, sir. Just the shawl. Bus. Please give a huge round of applause. Thank you. I request Mr. Shemfang Van Lingdo, Assistant Professor of Commerce, to present the ceremonial shawl to Professor S.K. Jain, Conference Convener and Nodal Officer, Evening of the Northeast Student Society. Please give a huge round of applause as Mr. Shemfang is presenting the ceremonial shawl. I request Mr. Kamei to present the ceremonial shawl to Mr. Kshetrimayam Krishnadas, Nodal Officer of the Northeast Student Society, Shahid Bhagat Singh Morning College. Please give a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, Kamei sir, for joining us, helping us out. Thank you. This brings us to the closing of the felicitations segment. For the benefit of the dignitaries present here and the participants watching this, watching the live proceedings on YouTube, I would like to share a little bit about the college we are at. Named after the legendary Prince of Martyrs, Sardar Bhagat Singh, Shahid Bhagat Singh Evening College was established on 16th July 1973. What started as evening classes of Shahid Bhagat Singh College grew from strength to strength, moving from Govindpuri to Sheikh Sarai and evolving through several large-scale renovations in 2010, 2016, and now the ongoing and most ambitious one since 2023, being spearheaded by our principal, Professor Arun Kumar Attri. Legendary personalities like Dr. Sahib Singh Verma and Dr. M.P. Thakur have been associated with this college. Our college also has this annual feature of organizing the Shahid Bhagat Singh Memorial Lecture. Before I invite him to deliver the welcome address, Professor Arun Kumar Attri is a deeply invested patron, a strategic thinker and visionary leader, who is the distinguished principal of Shahid Bhagat Singh Morning and Evening College. He is an embodiment of the youthful spirit of this college, which is upholding the timeless legacy of Shahid-e-Azam Sardar Bhagat Singh. He has spearheaded the transformative academic and administrative upgradation of the college life for all stakeholders. Professor Attri acquired his PhD from Delhi School of Economics, Department of Commerce, University of Delhi, and LLB from the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. Professor Attri was honored with the Shiksha Ratna Award at the Antarashtriya Swami Pragyanand Samman Samaroh 2023 on 3rd September 2023 for his distinguished contribution in the field of education. Professor Attri's inspirational journey from humble beginnings in Uttar Pradesh to spirited hands-on leadership of 2 Delhi University colleges is encapsulated in his popular TED Talk, titled How Sometimes Life Itself Gives Direction, which has over 10,000 views across various social media platforms. It explores the inspiring journey of a young man from a small village who faced numerous challenges head on, achieved remarkable success. Sir's talk emphasizes how life's bittersweet moments and experiences guide individuals towards true fulfillment of their potential and purpose. Sir has traveled across the world to various countries, more recently, the United Kingdom, as a part of the Academic Excellence and Enrichment Program. With these words, I'd like to invite Professor Arun Kumar Attri to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Kalyani. I am very grateful to the dignitaries on the dais, Professor S.K. Jain, Shri Sabyasachi Datta ji, Professor Mahandra P. Lama, and Kshetriyam Krishan Das, the coordinator of Northeast Society from the Morning College, and my friends from the Morning and Evening College, and the dear students. The topic for the conference, Understanding Northeast, is very pertinent, issues and challenges. When Professor Jain came to me with this an idea, so I suggested him that I think we should invite Professor MUKHI for this conference, because Professor MUKHI has expressed his interest, and he himself has said that whenever you organize any conference or any event on Northeast, so please do invite me. So when he invited him, and we invited him 1.5 months back, and he got a little confused, and on 25th June he was coming to college. So I told him that it's not 25th June, it's 25th July. So he said that, okay, I will come on 25th July. But unfortunately, he was hospitalized for last 10 days, and this is the reason that he could not make today. Anyways, he has sent his blessings for the students and the teachers and everyone who has taken this initiative to organize this conference. Now, I have been to Northeast, and like Mukhi, like S.K. Jain, Northeast is close to my heart as well. कुछ Northeast की बातें मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा जो शायद कुछ लोगों को नहीं पता होंगी. Usually when we talk about जब हम बात करते हैं tribes की, तो हमें ऐसा लगता है कि tribes मतलब कि which somebody who has been or some group which has been cut off from the mainstream and which are not as forward as we are. But this is not the reality. I will highlight some aspects of tribal culture which will make us understand and force us to introspect that what we are doing and what we should learn from them. I went to Switzerland also, and I saw its honesty shop there. मतलब honesty shop का concept ये है कि वहाँ पे आप जाइए, price tag लगा हुआ है, and you leave anything जो उस पे price लगा हुआ है आप वो उठा लीजिए और वहाँ पे वो पैसा छोड़ दीजिए. So there was a village Shilthorn, वहाँ पे एक जगह थी स्विट्जरलैंड में, वहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं था, तो हम गए वहाँ पे और हमने कुछ लिया और वो पैसे वहाँ पे छोड़ दिए. So that was the first time I was surprised to see that कि दुनिया में ऐसा कुछ भी होता है. Then I came I got this opportunity to visit Northeast when JAGDISH Mukhi ji was a governor, and because of his courteous nature, we were the guest there, and he arranged our visit. So we visited one place in Meghalaya, and we were surprised to see that there was so many honesty shops there. So Meghalaya में इतनी सारी honesty shop road side पे आप fruits and vegetables लीजिए, वहाँ पे पैसा छोड़ दीजिए, कोई नहीं है वहाँ पर करने के लिए. So it means that it was not. I was surprised to see that this culture exists and the honesty exists in Switzerland, in Europe, but that was there in our Northeast. Another thing I would like to mention that in Meghalaya there are the tribes Garo, Khasi, and I think Zenithia tribes are also there. There they have the matrilineal system where the property inheritance is done through the female line. So imagine that in the entire country we inherit largely it is like that the male inherit the property, but there the female inherit the property, and the woman enjoys the highest status in the society. So I was surprised to see that the people of the other parts of the country, they should learn this thing from these tribes from the northeast. And once we invited the Joint Commissioner of Police, he was from northeast only, in one of the northeast programs from Arunachal, and he said that there are many districts in northeast which are crime free, zero crimes are there. And he said that in some of the police stations, there are few policemen, one or two policemen, and they keep on playing carom all day. There is no work, so no crime. So usually you don't find such things in any other part of the country. When I asked that what is the main reason that there has been relatively very low crime in northeast, though except Assam is there, where there are some cases of incidences of crimes are there, and apart from that, the violence that is being there, that is more political and security related rather than the social crimes as such. Women are relatively safer in northeast, and the main reason that they mentioned was the closely knit culture, the bonding, the community bonding that they have. Most of the issues they settle through village councils only, the panchayats, and they don't go into that legal system and all that. So that is what the community belief is there, and this was the reason that we went for democratic decentralization by creating a third tier of governance through Constitutional Amendment Acts 73rd and 74th. We created Panchayati Raj institutions. The idea was to have a local self-government where we govern ourselves. So there you can find that how this system works really well, and people are able to resolve their problems amicably within themselves. So I would not say much, because I know that there are experts, there are keynote speakers, and there are guests from Northeast who would be throwing more light on this, and I'm sure that the audience would have the enriching experience, and you will learn from the idea is not to attend this conference only. The idea is also that you should understand the culture of Northeast, and you should take this culture, the rich heritage that we have of the tribes, and spread in the entire country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Arun Kumar Attri, for your invigorating and encouraging words. Thank you also for highlighting your own unique and insightful experiences with the Northeast. I'm sure the concepts of honesty shop, the matrilineal society structure, the crime-free state, etc., are fascinating to a lot of us. Professor S.K. Jain, who is known to you on this day as the seminar convener and nodal officer of the Northeast Student Society of the college, is a professor in the Department of Political Science. The Northeast Student Society has held a special importance for him ever since it was established in the college. And convening impeccable and intellectually enriching conferences is something Professor Jain could be thought to have another doctorate in. With over 3 decades of experience teaching undergraduate and postgraduate courses, Professor S.K. Jain's expertise lies in the federalizing process in India with relation to party system, coalition politics, comparative politics, parliamentary democracy, and Indian diaspora. He's authored several books and contributed several research articles in national and international journals. In 2013, Professor S.K. Jain was bestowed the Meritorious Teacher Award by the Government of Delhi, India. He has delivered several talks as a resource person at institutions of repute like Jamia Millia Islamia, Jawaharlal Nehru University, among others. He's also organized several conferences on the themes of federation, democracy, as well as globalization. He's on the panel of Sunset TV and has been the moderator of many AIR programs. I now invite Professor S.K. Jain to introduce the theme of the seminar. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Very good morning to all. My today's guest, Professor Lama, Mahandra P. Lama, keynote speaker, Sabyasachi Datta, and our principal, Professor Arun Attri, my esteemed colleagues and some of my former colleagues, especially I thank to them because they are here, and my students. One of the reason, but my students are not here so many because the vacations are going on in Delhi University, and on first only the new session is starting. So most of the students are away at home. So that is the one thing we have the this particular timing is this. But let me tell you the timing why this timing is there, because there is a reason for this timing. Uh, on the 31st of this July, I'm getting superannuated. I'm getting retired. And I thought, let's do something in my own way to say bye bye or to give my side of farewell, for my colleagues and everybody's, because this is all I have done in my career out here teaching regarding number of seminars I have organized and number of themes. So I thought this is the best way I can give my tribute. So the second reason is this, that being a nodal officer of water students here since the inception in 2013, when the University of Delhi started this cell, I have been appointed as a nodal officer, and since then I am I'm carrying these responsibilities. So most of the time, what you used to do is to have cultural programs. And cultural programs, students from North East used to give the performance, their dance and other rituals and other kinds of things. But no academic program as such been done and held in the past. So I thought, let's do something different. And being the last for me, so I decided to do something on the Northeast, which is also very close to my heart, like our principal said. And luckily, I had so many friends from Northeast during my JNU stays, and I think it is another honor and pleasure for me to tell this audience that the keynote speaker, Professor Mahandra Lama, and me were roommate in JNU, and then he rose to become the vice chancellor of the first vice chancellor of the Sikkim National University, and currently he is chief economic advisor of the government of Sikkim. But that is apart. As an academician, he established himself across the globe, and his work goes across the globe in South Asia, on countries of South Asia, and particularly with the economic aspects of the South Asia. I don't have much knowledge of the economic side, but I just wanted to say about that part. Coming to the conference theme, that Northeast, we all know that fascinate all of us. It fascinates because of different culture, the different kind of rituals, a society with a different language and customs, rituals, and we make a tour. We like to go for a tour, but more than that, I think we need to know something little bit about why Northeast is given special status. It is constitutionally given special status, and that is to be something I think our panel will focus on. That Article 370, we all know it was with related to JAGDISH and it is abrogated. But Article 371 is there. It is similar kind of special status for a Northeast state. 371 A, B, C with regard to different states. So it's a kind of asymmetric federalism. And that is why we in India call about asymmetric federalism. Why India is asymmetric federalism? Because we have given some different status to different states. Unlike US, which is a country with a federal country with equal status to all the states, whether it is smallest or the biggest. But in India, we have given special status to some of the states, including Northeast state, and we have given them some freedom, autonomy to run their administration, to run their local governance. So some of these things to be highlighted by the panels and by the speakers there in the time to come. Apart from that, there is a one international issue which is touching with regard to Northeast, and we know there are states in the Northeast which is having international boundaries, right? And this something you can say almost if you look at the boundaries, almost 5,984 kilometer of international border with Bangladesh, 1,880 kilometer, Myanmar 1,643 kilometer, China 1,346 kilometer, and Bhutan 1,516 kilometer, and Nepal 99 kilometer. I mean, these are all border which we have with the Northeast. So Northeast assumes importance strategically, internationally, nationally, culturally, ethnically, and many ways. And that is why we need to have some kind of focus on this. And I am sure that we have the panel today who are going to deliberate on this. The recent aspect is also with regard to Northeast is about some kind of issues, ethnic violence, as we know that Manipur has witnessed that. So I'm sure some of our speakers will speak about that also, and what are the reasons and the factors behind that. So some of these issues will be touched on the panels who are the panelists here. They will speak at length, but I am sure that we have two distinguished speakers here. One Professor Lama and one Mr. Sabyasachi Datta. They are the expert on the Northeast, and they will speak at length. And we have time for them. So I wish them all the best, and I wish all of you. And I am again welcoming all my teachers from the morning college, evening college, and some of my students, those who have come after leaving college for 12 years, still they are here. So some of them who have been students of JNU, they are also here. So this is a good thing. I welcome all of them, and everybody is here. So please, you will enjoy this session to come, whatever you're going to witness. And with this, I thank you all, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor S.K. Jain, for your insightful and heartwarming words. And I'm sure on behalf of the entire audience, aapke jazbe ko salam. We are honored to have with us Shri Sabyasachi Datta, Executive Director and Founder of Asian Confluence, Shillong, India. Shri Sabyasachi Datta is the co-founder and executive director. Asian Confluence is a premium Indian think tank. He pioneered the third space philosophy of the Asian Confluence, whereby through a host of programs, the Asian Confluence has a premier think and do tank located in India's northeastern region, provides an opportunity for civil society to enhance people-to-people contact between India and her neighbors, and also encourages a better understanding of the cultural and socio-political issues of the region that are actually driving force behind policies such as India's Act East policy and Neighborhood First policy. Shri Sabyasachi Datta regularly speaks at several prestigious fora, and under his leadership, the Asian Confluence curates several research and Track 1.5 and Track 2 initiatives such as the India-Japan Intellectual Conclave, the NADI, Natural Allies in Development and Interdependence, River Dialogues in the Bay of Bengal region, and the India-Thailand Young Entrepreneurs Exchange Program in partnership with the governments of India and other countries. As a student of geopolitics, Shri Sabyasachi Datta's interests span regional cooperation in the Himalayan and Eastern South Asian region around governance, connectivity, natural resource management, culture, trade, and tourism. Shri Datta holds strong interest in water resource management issues and the water energy food nexus for sustainable development of rural areas in Eastern South Asia, and is a core author of the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN's civil society organizations vision document for regional cooperation in the Ganga Brahmaputra Meghna region. We are honored to have you with us, sir. Please join us. The stage is yours.
Very, very good morning. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. Firstly, Professor Jain, we wish you a very, very good innings ahead. May Godspeed with you serve the country even more. It's a great honor to be here sharing the dais with Professor Lama, who we always continue to learn from, and thank you, Professor Atre, for this opportunity to be here, and to Dr. Krishna Das, and good morning to all of you. I would like to, I was not supposed to be in this panel, but Professor Jain asked me to say a few words. So before Professor Lama speaks, which we are all looking forward to hearing, maybe I would like to use a few minutes to say a little bit about what we do, but also I think that will lay a little bit of context of what's going on in that region. So first of all, friends, geography is king. Everything is derivative of geography. That's what I believe. So this region that we call Northeast is it's a direction. It's actually 8 states. From Delhi, it is Northeast. So, but in actually it is 8 states of the Union of India, and each state has its own peculiarities and wants and demands and everything. But if you see it as a region which is comprising these 8 states, there are 2 or 3 factors which I would really urge you to consider. One, this region has the Himalayas on the top, right? And very close south, with a little bit of Bangladesh and Myanmar in between, is the Bay of Bengal. So this is a region which sits between the mountains, the tallest mountains of the world, the Himalayas, and all of these, it's kind of the mountains come down and into the bay. The Bay of Bengal is one of the most extremely important bays of the world. It is the largest bay to start with, full of cyclones. So the state I come from, for example, Meghalaya, is where the first monsoons, when it catches wind over the Bay of Bengal and it first hits the hills, which is the windward facing hills of the Khasi Hills, and that's where we have the highest rainfall in the world. So my point to say is that this region is a product of extremely important natural formations. Now, over this region, this is the first point. The second point is India has 7 neighbors, out of which 5 are bordering northeast. So if you leave Pakistan to the west and Sri Lanka to the south, 5 of them border northeast, this region which we call northeast. So there is a very big international dimension. And third, history is a big teacher. History tells us that when there was no northeast, so prior to the partition of India, first the dissociation of Burma, then formation of East Pakistan and later Bangladesh, there was no northeast. This region was extremely prosperous because it was connected. The Brahmaputra river and the other rivers served as the conduit, the highways for trade, movement, culture. The king of a small principality in Arunachal Pradesh, Chokham, was one of the richest in India because of the timber trade. And later came the tree trade and the oil trade and all of that, right? So what now constitutes landlocked Northeast is really a product of some developments in history, which it was not landlocked before, these regions. So Meghalaya could export, what is today Meghalaya could export oranges. There was a lot of trade going back and forth, and actually the Bay of Bengal was the conduit of the back door of the Northeast. Why I am bringing these 3 points is that this understanding in today's day and age, now coming to today, friends, I do believe that we are living in extremely important times. Mark my words, because we are living in as important times as I would say 1947 or 1971, which we now read about in the history books. The world order is changing. The whole, the role of the US is changing, in the Trump era. The whole NATO, United Nations, all these institutions are changing. In this global churning, this region is going to become more and more contested, more and more important. So, when we talk about the Northeast, I think we have to understand the 3 dimensions. One is the geopolitical dimensions. One is the dimensions of security. The other is the dimension of how we deal with climate related issues, ecological issues. You know that the China is bringing up a very big dam in the north of, so that will have a lot of implications. So this geography, which is a tightly connected geography, what Professor Lama, I borrow from you, sir, mountain to sea, is now at the heart of global churn, geopolitics, and this poses a lot of opportunities. So at Asian Confluence, and I think Professor Lama, nobody better than him to tell us about all the opportunities and challenges that we will face. So we look forward to that. But I would say that at Asian Confluence, what we have been trying to do as a think tank is to connect these dots. How does the security dimension play with the international dimension, play with the domestic dimensions? How can other industries, the new types of livelihood industries that can come up, namely tourism, agri-tech, AI, education, health, youth-driven, the creative economy. There's so many things that can be the next generation of startups, the next generation of industries can come up. How are those conversations being fostered? So a lot of my time and our work at Asian Confluence is about convening dialogues, matchmaking, finding, making different types of different silos of disciplines come together to talk to each other. And on that, we call ourselves the confluence, because we truly believe that this is a confluence. If you really look at it, this is a region of a confluence of Asias, because you have the Austro-Asiatic, the Tibeto-Burman, the Sino, everything, all the different cultures of the globe, of Asia particularly, and even some West actually, they have come together through a series of migrations. So Samuel Huntington wrote a famous rhyme that, will we have a clash of civilizations? So as an idealist, we like to believe that, in the true spirit of our Indian ethos, where we celebrate the Sangam, we celebrate confluence, right? We celebrate differences to come up with something new. So will it be a clash of civilizations or will it be a confluence? So this is where I think the more we talk, when I got this invitation, I was very thrilled. So I can hear and get to spend some time with the students and faculty of this very esteemed university and this college. And we look forward to inviting you, having collaborations let's try and see what are the things that we can do together to bring out these areas of confluence. My last point is on a word of asymmetric federalism, with Professor Jain talked about. I think the Northeast story, any student of politics and federalism, I was recently in Myanmar just 2 weeks back, and they are struggling with how to integrate the states and so many other things. And I was really feeling so proud, that we have the Indian state, the Indian Union has done a fantastic job of how these various quirks in our, through various constitutional mechanisms. We have challenges. I'm not putting under the carpet. We have challenges in Manipur. We have challenges, the Kuki Mete problem which is going on. All these are there. But I think we as a nation can find solutions. We can find solutions because that resilience to talk to each other, to find out ways and means to, find a way forward. Because the India story is something which is going to really take center stage. The India's, I strongly believe this, the India story. India was not the India of today or of 71 or 47. This is the India of 2025. So that story is going to really, I think, be a very big factor in how the future of Asia, the map of Asia, will come forward. And we as a think tank from Asian Confluence, we would like to work with you, and we also bridge a lot with the other think tanks of India, such as ORF and Gateway House and other things. So I really thank Professor Jain for this opportunity to be here, and look forward to interacting with you and the sessions forward. And thank you again, sir, for your initiative to take this forward.
Thank you so much, Shri Sabyasachi Datta, for elaborating upon the activities of the crucial think tank that you founded, Asian Confluence. And I loved the name and the philosophy behind the idea of confluence, and the positive underscoring of solutions and resilience focus of India, that is Bharat. Thank you so much. We are truly privileged to have with us as the distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Mahandra P. Lama. Professor Mahandra P. Lama is a noted development economist. He has been senior professor in the School of International Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He was the founding Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Sikkim and the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, New Delhi. He has served as Prime Minister of India's nominee in the Eminent Persons Group set up by India and Nepal. Professor Lama is presently Emeritus Chief Economic Advisor, Cabinet Minister rank in the government of Sikkim, and was also a member of the National Security Advisory Board of the Government of India. He was India's representative in the steering committee of the coveted South Asian Forum set up by the heads of states and the governments in the 16th SAARC Summit in Thimphu in 2010, and independent expert group set up by the 10th SAARC leaders in Colombo in 1998. Central to Professor Lama's intellectual pursuits is development, cooperation, and integration in South and Southeast Asia and China. He has undertaken collaborative research with the top academic and research institutions in South Asia, Southeast Asia, US, UK, China, and Japan. Besides authoring and editing 25 books and 14 monographs, Professor Lama has extensively worked on the issues of trade, investment, and energy cooperation, borders and borderlands, sustainable development, connectivity, natural resource management, national security, migration, refugees, and human security, and hills and mountain issues in South Asia. He has been nominated by the President of India in the highest executive boards of various leading institutions of India. He's been associated as a professional with the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Programme, United Nations ESCAP, USAID, Australian Aid Agency, IDRC of Canada, Economic Research Institute of ASEAN, and East Asia ERIA in Jakarta, Asia Foundation, and ICIMOD in Kathmandu, and other international organizations. Sir's bio goes on, but now I'd like to stop and give the stage to him. Professor Lama, the stage is yours, and all of us are eagerly looking forward to hearing your expert opinion on the theme of the seminar to set the tone for the day. Thank you, sir. Please join us here. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Well, thank you very much, Ani. Namaskar to all of you. The principal of the Syed Bhagat Singh College, Professor A.K. Atri. So I'm really impressed by the university ambience. It's better than many of the full-fledged universities. And I'm sure the university, the college is doing very well, precisely because I see there's some kind of a life in the college, which really strikes you immediately as soon as you enter into the college premises. So thank you very much. Keep it up. This is the way forward for any national development project. I also would like to recall my very old friendship, 45 years old friendship with Professor S.K. Jain. We started, he was in political science, I was in economics, and we started our career together from room number 006 in Ganga Hostel in JNU. That's a girls' hostel now, of course, but those days it used to be a boys' hostel. And I remember I have very fond memories of Professor Jain. Since then, we have already always shared our ups and downs in life, family lives, all kinds of situations we have worked together. So I really thank you, Professor Jain, for your kindness and for inviting me to this very interesting function. More than that, you will now be, from 1st August 2025, you will be starting your real career, right? So far, your career was of a particular nature, and I'm sure you would be starting a new career, and that will be the real career for you. I would also like to recognize the presence of my very dear friend Sabyasachi Datta, the chair of the Asian Confluence, are very unique organizations that has brought so much of lives and so much of opportunities and started changing the entire narrative of the Northeast in the country and outside the country. I would also like to recognize the presence of the former DGP, Director General of Police of Pondicherry, Sri Manoj Lal Jiu. My very old friend, Professor Sanjay Pandey, is with us. So I would like to recognize his presence also. And thank you very much, all of you, your presence, the faculty colleagues here, students, the staff members here, and of course, Dr. Krishna Das and Dr. Kalyani for your generous hosting of this conference. I'm going to speak about what really happened in the Northeast in a very general term, and what is happening today, and what is likely to happen in very near future. You know, Northeast is a very unique geography, as the principal sir was telling us. We contribute only 4% of India's GDP, and we constitute only 8% of the total geography of India. But it is so unique, right? So diverse and so vibrant that I don't find such kind of geography, such kind of features in rest of India. It's a very, very interesting place. So Northeast is not a homogeneous whole. Northeast is a kind of a diverse geography with so many communities working together, right? With so many geographies, with so many cultures, with so many languages, so many dialects, right? And more than that, with so many different activities. The best part of Northeast is we constitute 98% of Northeast's borders are with the neighboring countries, and only 2% which is with the rest of India. That means its interactions historically, right, is always with the neighboring countries. So you please keep that in mind. It is a biodiversity hotspot. And recognized by the UN. So you can go to Northeast only to see what is a biodiversity. The food part, the plants part, the animals part, the medicines part. You just go. The nature part is fascinating, right? You have Kanchenjunga on the top, third highest mountain in the world. Then you can go down and dive into the seas. You can see beautiful borders, beautiful mountains, absolutely a brilliant ecology, cultural ecology. The borders. 35% of India's land borders are in the Northeast. So, and it is connected by Chicken Neck in Darjeeling district, small Chicken Neck, right? That connects the entire Northeast. You have seen that. So, what is the biggest question today is, are these 98% of their borderlands, are these a threat, or is this an opportunity? As a student of borderland, many of us have been saying that in India, borders need not be seen as a totally orthodox fashion, as a kind of a geometric line. Because the moment you see border as a geometric line, nothing happens there. Only the security forces from that side and security forces from this side would come together. And you promote an orthodox variety of military activities. Eyeball to eyeball contact will be there between India's border security force and Bangladesh's army, right? Whereas if you talk about borderlands away from this geometric line, then you immediately say, hey, there is tourism, there is pilgrimage, there is natural resources, there is education, there is health, there is trade, there is smuggling, there is cross-border environmental injuries. Look at this. So the only difference is border as a geometric line and borderland as a kind of space. And Northeast is famous for borderland. Somehow we converted into a geometric line and we lost quite a few things. And we would now like to say border as an opportunity and Northeast as a kind of a border. For example, we export almost $437 billion of goods and services to the global world. And our total trade would be about $820 billion. And here is a geography which has got nothing but borders. You can trade with China, you can trade with Myanmar, you can trade with Bangladesh, you can trade with Nepal, you can trade with Bhutan. And if you go a little beyond, you can trade with Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore. Go towards east, to Korea, and to what you call it, Japan. But how much we contribute, in the total trade, in the total exports of India, Northeast's contribution would be not even 1%. Why does it happen? It's a big question, right? In the same borders, if you go to Myanmar and China border, and if you stand there in a place known as Muse and Rili, the border trade between China and Myanmar would be $4 billion. If you go to Myaodi with Thailand and Myanmar, if you stand there and see, the border trade is almost $4 billion again. Whereas we, India, right, till the 1935 Government of India Act, right, Myanmar used to be a kind of a regime, a kind of a geography that was directly looked after by the British India government. And we had such close cultural, economic, social, geographical, historical context and connections with Myanmar. You know how much is our trade? Our total trade, not border trade, is $2 billion. Why does it happen? The Chinese are doing the border trade of $4 billion. The Thais are doing this, and we have 4 solid states: Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. They can thrive, they can do. That's why we are changing the entire concept of making borders as frontier economic zones. In south of India, you talk about special economic zone or export related zones, but we now call it a frontier economic zones. This is what we have told Government of India, that we should move towards this. It's a very unique geography because this is the only geography in the country which has a special constitutional, financial, institutional, and other arrangements. Northeast is the only geography which has its Ministry of Development of Northeast region. Northeast is the only region where you have counterpart of erstwhile Planning Commission known as the Northeastern Council. Constitutional provisions, look at this. Every state has a special constitutional provisions. As Professor Jain was telling about 371. Just go to 371 of the Constitution. Then you will see, 371A is this, B is this, C is this, right? Yeah, the institutional provision is absolutely different. Nowhere in India, there is nothing like South India electricity generation corporation. There's nothing like North India handloom sectors, but Northeast, yes, you name anything. Northeast electricity, Northeast handloom, Northeast, textiles, Northeast, all kinds of food, right? It's a very, very unique arrangement. And you have a financial arrangement unique. That is, Northeast is the only geography of India where Government of India says 10% of the budgets of all the ministries and departments of India should be invested, should be spent in the Northeast. Can you imagine? 10% of Ministry of Defense, 10% of Ministry of Industry, So I was calculating in 23-24, Government of India had to set aside 1.3 lakh crore for Northeast. Can you imagine? There's so much of money. And this is on top of your general budget, your general development finance given by the Finance Commission, given by Niti Aayog, given by different ministries. So these are huge, and these are non-lapsable pools. That means what? That means on the 31st of March, it does not lapse. So you can put them in a sack and keep them there. It's something like that. It never lapses. There is very interesting things like income tax exemptions. There's no income tax in Sikkim. There are no income tax in several other states. So you have a deep pocket. Where will you keep the money? Right? So you have no income tax. And my salary, I tend to cry every month because 30% is deducted. Straight away, whether you want or not, my TDS is deducted. And I get very little amount to take home. Right? Because my salary slip shows, oh, he's a senior professor, so he gets this much of money. But nobody knows that a senior professor also contributes so much to the exchequer of India, right? Now, Northeast, no tax. You have special provisions. Whoever invests in the Northeast, you will get tax exemptions, you will get special subsidies on transport, you will get, if you import some technologies or machines, you don't need to pay import duties for that. So many under NEI, PP, NEI, DS, now it is known as Unnati 2024 by the Prime Minister. Now, given all these, the other important thing is you do your ruling, your regimes you can run. You know, you have the concept of sixth schedule in the Constitution of India. I've been in the sixth schedule commission of the Government of India. And you check the six schedules are working. Oh, there is a state within the state, right? Autonomous councils are there in Assam, in Mizoram, in Nagaland, in for Meghalaya, the state is also run by the autonomous councils because it is under the sixth schedule, and the state is also run by the elected government led by the chief minister. Nowhere you will find this situation. It's absolutely unique situations. Therefore, what would happen then is, why, despite all these things, Northeast, which used to be one of the fastest growing geographies in India before 1947, has lagged behind? Why? That's a big question. Everybody asks, because everybody thinks Northeast, oh, that's pretty far. Northeast, it is underdeveloped. Northeast, you know, for me, Government of India has appointed a large number of committees. You have the Shukla Committee, Jain Committee, you have the Thorat Committee. You know, in many of these committees, I've been there. The Northeast Council Revamping Committee, right? And all the committees point out 4 factors why Northeast lagged behind. One of the major factors Northeast lagged behind is we started treating Northeast as a national security geography, right? So every project which has to go to the Northeast had to go through national security agencies, Home Ministry, Defense Ministry, right? And you know how it works. And so that led to so many disconnects. The second very important issue in the Northeast, why we lag behind, was the institutions. Institutional development did not happen. You have a Calcutta University, you have a Banaras Hindu University, you have Jawaharlal Nehru Delhi University. You know, in Sikkim, the first university was set up in 2007. The first central university in the Northeast started happening only in the 1980s and 1990s. So no ITIs, no IITs and IIMs. The only one and in the main India, Rest of India, you have several institutions, whereas in the Northeast, not many institutions, right? And it is the institution that actually triggers development. It is not individuals. So we lag behind. So this is known as institutional laggard syndrome. The third, of course, is the impressions, the what you call the narrative about the Northeast in rest of India. It is a no-go place. Don't go there, because it is a place of insurgency, because this is a place of instability, and this is a place of violence. And that paradigm of national impressions, or what you call it, narrative, really constrained or remained, it constricted the entire development orientations of the people. Today also, you can see that. So what we are saying is, that means what? That means everybody thought that it is a no-go land. And the fourth is, whatever you put there, in economics, we call it multiplier effect. That means whatever gains you have out of development, the gains will flow out of the Northeast, right? That means the cream of development would go out of Northeast. It is never invested back in the Northeast. That means what? That means a huge quantum of capital flights happened in the Northeast for 40, 50, 60 years. So in the name of Northeast, other provinces of India developed, because the agents of this capital flight were located somewhere in Delhi, somewhere in Haryana, or somewhere in South India, right? So the entire development in the north, in the name of the Northeast, actually happened in these geographies, because these were supposed to be much safer land. So today, what we are saying is, we are now talking about, we should change two things about the Northeast. One, of course, is you change the entire thinking about the Northeast. And to change that, I, as a student of international relations, keep telling my students, my colleagues, to change that, you have to do two things. One, you have a Northeast map. This is Northeast, connected by a chicken neck, and this is India, rest of India. Since you declared rest of India as the mainland India, as the mainstream India, we were told that you should follow mainstream India and mainland India. But nobody realized the fact that chicken's head is Northeast and chicken's body is the mainland India. And somebody told us that, hey, in the case of Northeast India, the body would drive the head. This is why the condition is like this. We want the head to drive the body. So we call it now reverse integration. Do you get it? Reverse integration means that will be our mainland India in the Northeast, and rest of India should follow what Northeast does. And this psyche has been gradually inducted in the last, I would say, 15, 20 years, particularly by the present Prime Minister Modi. He has, I was counting, he has visited Northeast in the last 10 years, 11 years, almost 75 times, right? And has brought so much of warmth and so much of vibrancy in the Northeast. And now he says, the first border village, the last border village will now be the first border village. He says that, right? That means what? That means in Arunachal Pradesh, in Tawang, the last border village, which you used to call last, will be the first village of India. Then you start integrating back and change this. The second thing which we are saying is change the development model. The development model so far was, you go invest, Government of India would invest so much, but the profit is taken away. Where it goes, nobody knows. The cream of development. In milk, you have only two things. I worked with, for 2 years, I very closely worked with the father of White Revolution, Varghese Kurian, in NDDB in Anand. As a young university graduate, we are little revolutionary in thinking. So we many of us went and joined him. Sir, we would like to work with you. And that is where we learned what is milk revolution in India. And we found that in milk, you have only two things. One is the fat. The entire milk price is based on fat. And the another is solid non-fat, where you make milk powder and all kinds of things, right? SMPs, skimmed milk powder and all. So if you take away the fat, the real value of milk, you are left with only SMP, skimmed milk powder. And Northeast exactly suffered from that syndrome. You take the cream of development, right? And you are left with skimmed milk powder. How many years you will run your economy and society with skimmed milk powder and not with fat, ghee, butter, cheese, right? This is what happens. So we would like to now change development models, right? We change development agencies. We will now like to change development institutions, development projects, the entire planning, monitoring, evaluation system. There. This is what we are trying to do now. I think against this backdrop, what is happening in the Northeast is very interesting things. It used to be absolutely a no-go situation. If Asian Development Bank would like to go and do something, World Bank would like to go do something, Japan's JICA would like to go do something, no, you can't go. Today, anyone can go to Northeast and do the business. World Bank, Asian Development Bank, JICA, even AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Banks, it has reached Northeast. So this has brought absolutely a different momentum, right? The other important thing which has happened is four-way connectivity projects. It was very difficult for me to go to Guwahati, then go to Manipur, or from Manipur to cut across to Nagaland, and then to cut across to Arunachal Pradesh. No, today no. So the four-way connectivity is greatly done in the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years. That is, four-way means first connectivity within a state, say Assam or Manipur. It's a beautiful connectivity. Village is connected with district is connected with state capital. Yet to be done quite a few things, but it has started happening. Second is connectivity between two states, Assam and Meghalaya, Manipur and Nagaland, or Tripura and Nagaland, right? So between two states. Third is Northeast as a whole and the rest of India. I don't say mainland India, the rest of India, right? That means you can easily drive from Patna to Imphal, right? So, and the fourth is Northeast and the neighboring states, neighboring countries. So it's say between Northeast and Bhutan, Northeast and Myanmar, Northeast and Bangladesh. It's a very, very interesting situations as far as the entire corridor making four-way connectivity is concerned. The very interesting thing in this connectivity project is, for the first time, you are really trying to connect. So, for example, we opened in Sikkim the Nathula trade route. For last, immediately after the 1962 war, the entire interactions between Tibet, a huge geography, and Sikkim and Darjeeling, Kalimpong, you were disconnected. We had our India's consulate office in Lhasa, in Tibet. and Tibet traders and the traders on this side from Israel to Japan to US, they used to gather in a place known as Kalimpong and used to trade. Gone. So in 2000, we all said, no, this trade route has to be reopened. And when we were trying to reopen this trade route, because this is not only history, this is not only culture, this is of strategic value to us. Many people in the senior officials would tell us, hey, don't touch that, because refugees will come from that side, because Chinese goods would be coming from that side, so don't touch that in Sikkim. And we used to make an argument, hey, we are a nuclear country. Why do you bother about few Tibetan refugees? Or why do you bother about 10 truck full of smuggled goods? Look at the sea routes. Thousands and thousands of trucks come through the sea routes only. Then we reopened it. But today, well, I'm telling you, when we reopened it, one of our objectives, we had twofold objectives in doing this. And I have no hesitation in saying this because I was the team leader to write this report to reopen this Nathula trade route. And as a student, right, and as a field worker, I used to always feel that whenever I used to go to China, I used to see in their maps, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sikkim together. These are the three countries in the southwestern China, adjoining southwestern China. Nepal is an independent country, sovereign country. Bhutan is so. But Sikkim is a part of India since 1975. It was very embarrassing. For us, nothing happens because Sikkim is a part of India only. But in their maps, it was embarrassing. So we thought that the moment this trade route is reopened, passports, Chinese passport holders and Indian passport holders would cross the border. And that's what it happened. They removed Sikkim as a kind of what they did. The second is, if you would like to go to a very sensitive geography like Tibet, right? The easiest way to go to Tibet is through Sikkim. And that's what happened. The Chogals, the kings of Sikkim, married the queens from that side of the border those days, right? And so we thought that this would happen. So before opening this route, there used to be eyeball to eyeball contacts between the Chinese army and the Indian army. If you blink your eyes, I'll shoot you. That was the situation then, before the opening of the eyes of this road. Today, the Chinese and the Indian army, they play volleyball. The border became from a soft, hard border, it became a soft border. They play volleyball. And in China, you sell calculators and watches in kilograms. How many kilograms of watches you want or calculate? They manufacture it in such a wild manner. They sell in kilograms. And they give our soldiers ghadi, right? And our soldiers, our people on this side of the border are very happy. Oh, we have now watches. And what do we give to the Chinese that side? The cheapest thing which Chinese would really enjoy is bidi. So it is a hard border converted into a soft border, and it's a beautiful depiction of ghadi and bidi exchange. This is what happens when you make a border. And this concept now is, we are trying to spread this concept. Do a borderland hospital. 40% of the Bangladeshis coming to India legally would come for medical purposes. They will go to Calcutta, they will go to Madras, they will go to Mumbai for this. So we say, why should you go to all the way to Calcutta to do what you call it treatment? We will make a borderline hospital somewhere in Dauki, between Shillong, between Meghalaya and Bangladesh. You come, do the treatment and go back. This side is no go. Inside you can do treatment and go back. So this is another concept which you are trying to say. Borderland universities, borderland hospitals, frontier economic zones. Because these are innovatives. Because this has been done in the Scandinavian countries, in the European Union, it has been done. And this is well practiced there. So we are trying to bring that issues, such kind of practices here also. So the entire concept, so make economic corridor. What we are saying is, you make your economic corridor. If you go to Tamu and More border, now it is closed, right? Government of India declared that we will have you can come without visa this side, the Myanmaris, and the Indians will go that side, stay there, come back, right? You don't require, it is a visa-free zone. But we suddenly realized that there have been some misuse of this and it became a conflict zone. So what we are saying now is, for micro level exchanges, you make a corridor, and for a macro level exchanges between India and Myanmar, you make another corridor, that is securitized economic corridor, right? Because in the micro level exchanges, if there is some incident, the entire border is closed. The entire investment, trade, and exchange of pilgrims are affected. So you make a macro level corridor outside the main, what you call, border point. Therefore, what we are trying to say is, we will now change the entire concept of interventions in the Northeast region, right? Universities are doing very well, and all the programs, what we are doing very well, it's doing well. We want Northeast to be the power pool of India. On that side of the border, Myanmar is dark. If you go a little beyond, Cambodia requires electricity. Bangladesh requires electricity. And we have already done that. Again, 30 years back, when you used to say that India should trade electricity with Bangladesh, my friends in the ministry would tell me, hey, don't touch that. That is national security-wise very sensitive, right? Because all the transmission lines have to move through Chicken Neck Corridor, and that will be dangerous for the country. Today, you have a national grid to national grid integrations between India and Bangladesh. You produce electricity here, send it to Bangladesh. That's what the Adanis have done. That's what. You bring electricity from Bhutan, from Nepal, from Northeast, send it to what you call it, Myanmar, to Laos, to Cambodia, to Singapore, right? And we would like to make a power pool in the Northeast, like the Southern African power pool or the North power pool, such kind of concepts. Bring electricity from all over to the Northeast, including from Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and Meghalaya, and pull them together, and wherever there is demand, you send them across. So such kind of things are, this is what we are trying to do. Now, the last point I would like to say is, you have to really change your thinking. For China, some of us who have studied China in the last many years, the Chinese kept on changing their strategies. After the end of the Cultural Revolution, when Deng Xiaoping took over, the first thing Chinese did was a practice of imitation. So if you have gone to China in 1980s and 1990s, you get everything well imitated. You can't distinguish between this is a Japanese the product, or this is a Chinese product. It was a country of imitation. Everything. You name anything in the world, you'll find duplicates in China. And in 20s and 30s, 2010, 2020, today, right? China is a country of innovations. Yeah, they would innovate. Americans are afraid of it. The British are afraid of it because they innovate their things. And what they plan to do in 40s and 50s, China would be a country of invention. Right? So you move from imitations to innovations and invention. And if China starts doing invention, what would happen? Exactly, they followed the similar pattern as far as geographies are concerned. I give you one example. All the Chinese development process happened in eastern China, that is in the ocean belt, the Fuji to Fujian to Shanghai to Tianjin to Beijing to anything. You go there. 60% of their exports, 70% of their exports would come from that region, right? 80% of their GDP would come from that. Their per capita income in this geography is so high, but no. So they changed their strategy. Okay, we have developed the West, now, East, now we will go to the West. And West, you have states like, provinces like Tibet, Chennai, then Yunnan and all this. So they moved to that in 2000, 2002. Look at today. Look at today. Go to Yunnan today. Go to Lhasa today, Tibet today. Right? I gone through that route when I was going to, when I was going through, going for the study to be for the Nathula trade. And just recently also we went there with my students. We went to Kailas Mansarovar and saw the development process there. So you have to change the development process. So we have been telling Government of India that Northeast should be declared as a new growth pole of India. And if that happens, this is going to be one of the fantastic geographies of India, right? And this is where the question of peace dividend comes. Northeast is fairly stable today, except some pockets. If you see the data of killings of the insurgents and all, it has gone down drastically, right? Over the years, particularly in the last 15 years, right? And you can see the peace dividends. You would be surprised to know that Sikkim has the highest per capita income in the country today. We are far, far ahead of Goa, Punjab, Haryana, Karnataka. Our per capita income is almost 750,000 rupees, right? Whereas you have laggards like Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh. So these are the peace dividends. If you have peace, if you have stability, this is the way forward. So towards the end, I would only like to say is the roles to be played by the universities and a college like yours is to engage yourselves in these national debates about who will lead for what. And today we are seeing that Northeast geography, Northeast region would be able to lead, right? It would be able to lead in Prime Minister's project of Actist policy. It would be able to lead in the Prime Minister's project of Neighborhood First. And it would be able to lead in the entire context of bringing a new regionalism of sub-regionalist process. If you open Phulbari corridor in Darjeeling district, 10 kilometers from Siliguri, that would go to Bangladesh and that would go to Northeast. So then our burden on chicken neck would be drastically reduced because Nepalese, Bhutanese, Bangladeshis, Indians can move through that corridor and move to Northeast, and from Northeast they can move to Southeast Asian countries. So these are the broader phenomenon or broader outlook with which we will have to now work. So the challenge is, would you like to be a snail, right? You have seen a snail in the hills. The snails is a syndrome. It moves a little bit. The moment it smells some foreign elements, it withdraws and keeps quiet for this. Would you like to have a snail cell syndrome, or you'd like to have a rocket syndrome? Move, reach your journey, and do whatever you would like to do. So it's a big challenge. So I thank you once again for your patience, and thank you very much to the principals. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. What an extensive, well-researched and fascinating overview of the historic, geographic and socio-economic issues and challenges of the Northeast. I am truly fascinated by what you talked about at the very end, the snail shell syndrome versus the rocket syndrome. It was indeed enriching and intellectually rewarding to hear your keynote address, and I am sure you have given all of us a lot to think about and engage more meaningfully with the Northeast in this new India. Dr. Kshetrimayam Krishnadas hails from Manipur. He joined the Department of Mathematics, Shahid Bhagat Singh College in 2011 as an assistant professor. Currently, he is working as associate professor in the Department of Mathematics. He has been serving as the nodal officer of the Northeast Student Society of Shahid Bhagat Singh Morning College since February 2023. I invite Dr. Kshetrimayam Krishnadas to propose the formal vote of thanks for this session. So please.
Thank you, Dr. Kalyani-ji. Good afternoon, esteemed dignitaries on the dais, Professor Lama, Sri Sarvasasi Datta, our principal sir, and SK Jain sir, other experts who have come to share their thoughts, teachers and students. Good afternoon. I am truly honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Northeast Student Society, morning and evening both. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Mahandra Lama-ji for your insightful words. In fact, it was really captivating. It was an eye-opener. I never knew that the Northeast India would have such a potential. And despite all challenges, it can be a hotspot. Thank you, sir, for that. Thank you, Sri Dattaji, for realizing that the peculiarity of Northeast from a different perspective. Thank you, Principal Sir, Professor Atriji, the patron of the event. Your vision and leadership has been a constant source of inspiration for all of us, students and teachers alike. I thank all the speakers who have accepted to grace this event to share their thoughts. I believe we will learn many valuable lessons today. Next, I would like to thank the sponsor, ICSSR, for this event. I thank the students of the Northeast Students Society Morning and Evening College for meticulously organizing this seminar. Last but not the least, my sincere gratitude to Professor S.K. Jain sir. You have been, for the past 13 years, a great mentor and inspiration for all of us, students and teachers alike. NESS, the Northeast Student Society, wishes you a prosperous, joyful life ahead. We will be missing you, sir. We have learned a lot. We will be missing you in future. Once again, good morning, namaskar, and Jai Hind.
At the end of this enthralling inaugural session of the seminar, I am sure all of us have got a glimpse of the complexities and the unmatched beauty of Northeast India. We shall return for the first technical session after a brief tea break of 20 minutes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.